There's a lot of noise in the indie TCG world. Let's talk about some of the facts about what Sorcery Contested Realm is doing right now. Well, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Kitchen Table TCG. My name is Louie. I hope you're having yourself a fantastic day. Today I want to hang out and chat a little bit about a couple of the things that Sorcery Contested Realm has done in the last couple weeks that just gives me a lot of confidence in the company and what they are doing. There's been a lot of back and forth and conversation, and we're in this kind of weird period for Sorcery Contested Realm where we had alpha, we had beta, we're in this lull, right? Store owners like me are a little bit frustrated because we can't get more product, and there's a lot of, building anxiety and negativity as a result of two sets kind of releasing and really good, really successful. And we're in this kind of period that a lot of people knew was going to happen in Sorcery. With the one cycle a year, one set a year, we're in this kind of dead zone of what is next, when is next. We don't even know where Arthurian Legends or when Arthurian Legends is. And from a lot of the public side, I think there's a presence of negativity popping up. But in the middle of all that, I think there's some really cool things happening at Sorcery that I want to talk about. And that is that Sorcery is reinvesting in itself. This past week, we had two kind of major announcements from Sorcery that I want to hone in on and chat about in the midst of some of the other stuff going on. And that is, number one, that they are hiring. They just hired Jesse from The Winning Agenda, a great YouTuber who has been doing a bunch of deck techs and videos and, kind of creating content for the game. They just hired him onto the staff to make content of gameplay content and really encourage more of that to be created on the Sorcery itself platform, on Sorcery Contested Realm's YouTube channel. I want to talk about that a little bit because I think that just shows a commitment to reinvesting in themselves. A lot of these indie TCGs, one of the biggest things that we see happen is a rapid growth and then a lack of reinvestment into making things better, a lack of reinvestment into growing their own community. They rely so heavily on content creators to do a lot of the heavy lifting and a lot of the work and a lot of the movement forward to create and grow the brand that it doesn't end up sticking, because content creators only have so much energy and time, and we don't have, for me, I have a store, so I have a intrinsic value add of me making content is you buying things at gamegrove.gg or you supporting the channel on my business. But most of the content creators in the indie TCG space, there's not that kickback coming to them. And so they have to have full-time jobs, they have to have kids, they have to have all these other things that go in their life, and they can't take the time to make videos in a bigger way that a company can. And so when you do something like this, when Sorcery does something like hire a content creator onto their own staff to make content, it is such a huge win. And I want to talk about a little of the things that encourages. As a content creator, when I see the brand making content and growing their game and their own, it causes me to look at their content and say, man, I have to compete with this. And it sets the standard for what they want content to look like and be like. And that's really good for content creators. It allows them to set a standard that we then pursue and try to reach. I think that's a really, really big win. It also then adds content to the sphere. They can pay for, promotions, and they can pay for advertising. They can use their content and they can push it out to more and more people. They can send it to all the people who backed on the Kickstarter, and they have the email addresses. It can reinvigorate a lot of the energy that has been involved in this TCG over time. And I go back to this idea that a lot of other games failed to commit to creating content and to growing their own personal brands and growing their own, I guess not personal brands, but growing their own community brand. And this is a huge, huge win. So congrats to Jesse for that gig. I personally think, I don't know what you're getting paid. I don't know how much time you're getting involved in, but I think you're underpaid, and I think they should give you more responsibility. How about that? I think Sorcery should continue to invest and reinvest in these things, and they should continue to create content about the game, because that's really good. If you've seen their shorts and stuff like that, it is helping to grow the game. There's a lot of kind of this attitude of what's Sorcery doing to grow the brand. There's a lot of negativity from this kind of LGS standpoint, and some of the I'm just kind of following it on the Facebooks of LGSs like being like, I can't get product, but these stores have product and it's unfair. What is Sorcery doing to really grow? Well, I think this is one of those things that they're doing that's a really big win. The second thing that they've done is they just put out an update to the rules. And now this is so wild because I think this is going to be kind of a hot take. I think a lot of people anticipate that when a game comes to market, like beta did, right? When a game comes to market, that they have their crap together, right? That everything's fixed, that it's a perfect game. I've been guilty of this in the past of being really highly critical of releases and that kind of stuff. I think I'm probably overly negative in the past on that kind of thing. But when a company comes out and they are continuously play testing and evaluating and making changes, I think that's a big win. And now Sorcery's in a little bit of a weird spot, right? Where they called this alpha, they called this beta, and like, I guess that's technically an official release. And I look at beta as like Sorcery's official release, but they verbalized it in a way with alpha and beta that almost looks like there's a future official launch point. And I don't want them to do that. I don't think they should do that. But from a design element, I kind of like the idea that they are refining their game consistently to make it better. We saw Magic do this, right? You had mana burn, you had a bunch of different mechanics that are no longer in the game, and they've redacted things and changed things. And maybe you could say, well, that was 30 years ago. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have the other TCGs in the market. We didn't have the other stuff. But the heart of this, the point of this, is that they are making their game better. They saw a problem, which was that the rulebook was convoluted and it was all over the place. And they invested in the time, energy, and resource to fix it and to work on it. So there's an all-new rulebook up on the website. You can, I don't know, maybe we'll link it. I probably will forget, but maybe link it in the comment section. You can just search on Google the Sorcery rulebook, and it's an all-new rulebook, and that's a really big win because they've honed it in, they've refined it a little bit to make it better and make it easier for new players and new people to get involved in the game. And these two things, just to me again, show a commitment to refining and reinvesting in their own ecosystem. And if they continue to do that, I'm a huge, you guys have seen this on the channel, right? Like I'm not Sorcery, I'm not any, my company is not anywhere as big as that, but this is a good comparison. One of the things that I do personally is reinvest. If I make money as a business, sure, some of that has to come to my family. I got to pay myself, that kind of stuff. But one of my favorite things to do is to reinvest and to buy new camera gear, to buy new backdrops or new font packages or new things to reinvest in the thumbnails or the YouTube channel or at the store to get it. We just bought a $400 rug because it has the Game Grove logo on it. It's just a really cool way of reinvesting in your brand and reinvesting in yourself. And I'm a big believer that if you constantly are reinvesting, if you are spending the energy and the time and the money to reinvest in yourself, it pays dividends down the line, that it really propels forward. And so I think that this is a great look for Sorcery from somebody who obviously has a large Sorcery collection and has a vested interest on the YouTube channel and my personal brand and what I'm trying to create. I think this just gives a lot of confidence in the Sorcery team that they are looking to grow their team and to reinvest in themselves. So I wanted to make sure you were aware of that. Again, I'm starting to feel, we're in this indie TCG world, right? Where a lot of people come into the world, into the game, they get really excited and their expectations are sky high. We've all been here. If you've been involved in the indie TCG world for a while, we've all been here. And one of the things that happens is once you're sky high, every little critical thing that happens, you start looking at it and being like, what are they doing? What are they doing? What are they doing? And so I think it's really important to kind of verbalize, these are some things that they are doing to grow their game. And that's a really big win. So let me know what you think about all this stuff in the comment section below. I hope you have yourself a fantastic day. Remember to be kind to the people around you. We'll see you again next video.